What's up, Golden Age? It is your boy, the HNIC, man. I am dropping the preview for our season this week or today, this year. Shout out to everybody who's part of the dynasty, man. It's been a great time. Definitely got some stuff shaking up this year with the new conferences and everything. And so I think it's gonna be a fun year in the golden age. You feel me? So I'm gonna start off with the Heisman watch. These are some players that I am looking for that I think will make some noise and really just put up some really good numbers. So first is Georgia's quarterback, Carlos Bayer. He has really good abilities and he's fast as heck and accurate. And I love his weapons. Georgia has a lot of good running backs, receivers, tight end. And so when you got that many weapons and you're that good of a player quarterback, you're going to make you're going to make some plays and put up some numbers. Georgia made it all the way to the national championship last year, and so I think he'll have the wins that'll help him, and then he'll have the numbers as well. Darren Stutz out of North Carolina, 6'2" with 98 speed and platinum 50-50. If you don't know what 50-50 is, 50-50 is a jump ball ability. And so a guy with 98 speed at that height with the jump ball, best jump ball ability in the game, he's gonna be a nightmare, bro. Because he's gonna make some catches even when you got him guarded. And then when you forget he's 98 speed, he's gonna run past people. And so good luck to all the defenses that gotta play against him. Eric Toon is a running back out of Oregon, 98 speed. He got gold downhill. And so he pretty much gonna carry that offense. Oregon's quarterback is still young, but his offensive line is really good. And so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he rushed 200 yards a game or something like that, 200 all purpose. Every time he touches the ball, he's gonna try to hit his head on the goalpost. And if you don't know what goal downhill is, it's an ability that lets you break tackles without losing speed. And so 98 speed, breaking a tackle, good night, he's gone. And then the last player I got on the watch list is Carlos Ham. Uh, he's uh he's at Arizona State. Which that's a new coach. He was first year at Arizona State, and so I think he has high expectations for that squad. And I like his weapons. And honestly, I think this was my dark horse. I think he's gonna shock some people with the type of numbers he's able to put up. Just because I like his coach, and then I like what Carlos Ham brings to the table. From being honest, I think, like I said, he's my dark horse, Heisman runner, trophy winner. So I'll say I just wanted to put someone there maybe a little off the beaten path, and this was the guy I think could do it. All right, so what I'm doing this year that's gonna be a little different is I'm gonna give a schedule record prediction for everybody, as well as like pick my conference champions and all that. But so we're gonna go through every team, and this is not in order like a power ranking. I just separated it by what it called. I separated it by conference. So I'm gonna do the Sun Belt first, then the Big 12, then the Pac-12. Um, and so I'm starting with Wyoming with my guy Vale, man. Uh, Vale's a coach. He coaches basketball, and so during the season, he act like he can't do nothing else. So that's why he ain't been pretty really active in the league. But I got him going 6-6. Um, his question is, can he win a user game? I don't think he's gonna win no user game this year. If I'm being honest, yeah, I don't see it happening. But he has a lot of CPU games, so he might even have to win a lot of fair sims because I don't think he's been active in the league yet. Anyway, he got two sophomores with high potential. I'm not sure which one he's gonna choose to start. I think they both are worthy of starting, so it's gonna be interesting to see which one he chooses. He does have a Cortez Watkins, 95 speed wide receiver who in the Sun Belt will be dangerous. And Vale does like to play that way. He likes to stretch the field and throw the ball deep. And so him having a guy like that is big time for him. And then But that being said, I think he will struggle against bigger programs because his offensive line is abysmal. I don't know what he did in recruiting. I honestly don't think he recruited because his O line is bad. Yeah, I think they're all computer. I think they might be computer generated. They're so bad. So that's Vel, man. If I got him at 6-6, but I could definitely see him going 3-9. That's my boy. I was trying to be gracious, but if he go 3-9, I wouldn't be surprised. Georgia Tech. So there's only two teams in the Sun Belt because these are guys who really weren't that active last year, and so I was trying to give them a chance. Have some more CPU games and make sure they're not giving a whole bunch of force wins to other users. Um, and so But Georgia Tech said he's back. Got him going 8-4. He is a good user when he's playing. I literally we played week one. That was my first time I beat him this whole year. Um, Radrick Madison is his quarterback. He's a bright future. I really think he's gonna produce this year. But my only thing is Georgia Tech's wide receiver room is terrible. I think he also sat out recruiting last year, and his wide receivers are terrible. I do love his linebacker room though. His defense is good, and his linebacker room is kind of the crown jewel of that defense. They're fast, they're young, they're elite and star devs across the board. Um, and impacts for backups. Like he has a really, really good linebacker room that I think sometimes that position group gets underrated. But if you have really good linebackers, it can really help you um, stop the run and the pass. And so that's what like my favorite thing on the game is to have like really good linebackers. And I'm really jealous of what he has because his linebackers are really, really good. Um, but yeah, I got him winning the Sun Belt, going 8-4. This will give him a chance to get in the playoffs. Honestly, if depends on where he started at as far as ranking. But if he goes on a run, he's the conference champion. I mean, he can get into the playoffs uh, with an 8-4 record, which would be crazy, but which would be a great first season back. But it's on the table for sure. All right, moving to the Big 12. I got Purdue going 7-5. Um, I think Purdue is a user, has been an interesting kind of user so far in Golden Age. I think that he has um, won a lot of games, but it seems like he can't just get over the hump and get out of that kind of middle of the pack. I love Demarius Witherspoon. He's a strong safety on his team. Young guy with fast, with a good depth. I think he'll be making plays for his defense all year. Um, and then George Bruner is a running back on Purdue. He's the best player on the offense. He's another guy with his offensive line just isn't good, man. And when you don't have a good offensive line against some of those bigger schools, like they got waves of defensive linemen. Like I'm gonna talk about a team later who got like 5 or 6 D linemen over 80 overall on their team. D tackles. I'm sorry, 5 or 6 D tackles over 80 overall on your team. And so when they're platooning guys like that, keeping them fresh, and your O line's just not good, I mean they just wear down. And it ends up in the second half, and your quarterback start getting hit every play. Then you got your backup in. Like it's just hard to win against some of those bigger programs with a below average offensive line. And so I'm worried about that for Purdue. Um, but if he's able to figure out a scheme or something that works, get the ball out quick, I think he could surprise some people. I do have him going 7-5, which is a bold bid, and hopefully he can keep improving after this year. UNC, this was a team that was kind of hard for me to judge, but I ended up having them at 9-3. I love his quarterback, Terrence Hayes. He's a 6'4" pocket passer archetype, but he has 95 speed. You heard that right. 95 speed on a pocket passer. You don't get 95 speed on a ton of on like really good pure runners. And he does have a pair of weapons at receivers that are really fast and looking to make defenses sad, right? So when you play UNC, you better get your track shoes out because he's gonna play a fast game. And I do love his roster. I really, really do love his roster. Um, and his offensive line is really good. And so I just talked about Purdue's bad O line, UNC has the opposite, and it's the type of thing that can keep you in games, keep your quarterback upright, especially with that kind of speed. If they hold up just a little bit, his quarterback should be able to escape most situations and make a lot of plays. The reason I said it was hard for me to judge his record is last season he went on a run to close the season, but early in the season he struggled, and it was kind of schedule based. He played some of the better users early, and then it kind of tapered off. And so I don't know if he can beat the any of the good users on his schedule, and he'll have to go 9-3. And so um, that I do think he's a good user. He beat me last year, and like I said, I think ended up winning like 6 straight to close the year. And so I do think he's a good user, but I don't know if he's a great user. And so 9-3, I think I got him on the playoff bubble. Depends on when he loses those games and who he loses to. But I do think he'll have a good year. Rice, I got him going 5-7 this year. Even though Rice had a really good year last year, he kind of feasts on CPU teams. That's kind of his mo. Um, he will have to win some user games this year, and he hasn't really been able to do that. He has a different complaint every time he loses, so I don't really know what he'll say this year. But that being said, I do like his running back that he replaced. So he won the Heisman last year, and he replaced him with Grant Fox. Grant Fox is a really good running back again. He got 96 speed, decent ability. I think he, I think he will definitely get the ball a lot. That's kind of seems like Rice's play style is running back focused. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Grant has an opportunity to put up another Heisman winning season at Rice. And honestly, I was looking at his roster. Man, his roster is good, bro. Like it took him a while, but his roster is good. And so this season isn't about who's the Jimmy and Joes, man. It's about the X and O's. Can he coach? Like that's gonna be the question. Like I said, he always makes a lot of excuses about his roster and this and that and the portal. And I mean, I'm looking at his roster, man. His roster is good enough to compete. And so can he win some games that are evenly matched roster wise? If so, then he'll surprise me and go way better than 5-7. If not, then he'll be kind of in a rebuild after 2 years kind of going up, which will be interesting. Like that's the thing about college. Like tanking doesn't benefit your roster, and so I'm interested to see how he does this year. I'm really interested to see how he does this year. He's really one of the guys who I got him at 5-7, but if he got to 8-4, I'm like, man, I think that would be a really good season for him. Like, I think that would be a really good season for him. So we'll see. We'll see what he's able to do. Iowa State, man. Iowa State, 8-4 is what I got him going. I said his roster is the epitome of mid. I I didn't like anybody on this roster for real, for real. Like I thought everybody was all right, like at every position group. Like he don't got no bag to like he don't have nobody bad on this team. Like, I'm not looking at any position group like man, these dudes suck. But I didn't look at any of them like, yeah, I would want him on my team. Like it was one of those rosters, man. Just being honest. And so I'm interested to see how he's able to overcome some roster discrepancies against some of the big dogs. He's a good user, so I do think he'll win some games. I got him at 8-4. But when he gets to play against the Texas Techs and your Texas and your Georgias, I don't think that he has enough. Being honest, I don't see it on the roster. I don't think he has enough, man. And so I think he'll win games against teams that are even or below him roster wise, and he'll lose to all the good teams. It's how I got to his record. Michigan State 7-5. He got to recruit some DBs. His trenches are really good, but his safeties and corners are not good. They're not. They're just not good, and that worries me against some of the teams in the Big 12 who have the opposite issue, who have really good offenses on the outside, who receivers and tight ends and running backs are track stars with helmets. And you look at his DBs and it's like 89 speed, 88 speed, 87 speed. And it's not only that they're slow, it's low overalls, like 78, 79. It's like, man, you guys will be in purgatory in some games. That being said, I do like his quarterback. Walter Cantwell, young quarterback with high upside. I like his weapons. And like I said about his defense, he's gonna have to win shootouts. Michigan State is gonna have to win shootouts, which I think he's equipped to do. I think that's his play style fits that. But that's the only way he's winning games. Just being honest, he's not winning no defensive matchups. He's Walter Cantwell got to have a good year, and that means taking care of the ball and scoring a lot of points. If he's able to do that, Michigan State might surprise me and do more better than 7-5. I just don't trust his defense to hold up. I really don't. I think his DBs are just not good enough against a lot of the speed and talent that they'll have to face. Colorado got him going 5-7. And the reason I got him going 5-7, I'll get to towards the end of this, but I do really like his quarterback. Ben McCatley is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's elite, man. He really is. He's an elite quarterback. Colorado, I don't know if he got him in the portal or if he's homegrown, but he's legit. And I'll actually jump to the bottom here. And his receiver, Lawrence Brown, electric gadget receiver. I love gadget receiver because they're twitchy on here. And so he's electric, very fast, very quick, agile. He'll be definitely the number one playmaker, I think, on Colorado this season. But the reason I got him going 5-7, and he's another guy who didn't recruit offensive line. They are bad. His offensive line is bad. I think they're gonna end up looking like Will Campbell a lot of games, man, where they're just getting ran over and ran by, and he's trying to figure out who got beat, and it's three guys raising their hand. Like I don't trust his O-line to hold up at all. Like not against. I'm telling y'all, man. You go look at some of these guys' defensive line, and then you go look at you got to start a 70 or a 60 on the O-line. It's just, man, it's not gonna work out. It's just not gonna work out. It's gonna be a long game. And so I got him going 5-7, winning some games, but I just don't think he can beat anybody who has a competent D line because his O-line. Excuse me. It's early. His O-line is just so bad, y'all. It's just so bad. Oklahoma State, new to the league. I got him going 8-4. His quarterback is amazing. Jalen DeMontier, 6'5", another 6'5" guy with speed. I don't know where y'all finding these dudes, man, but I would like one of them. So y'all got all of them. He's 6'5", got a cannon for an arm and wheels for legs, man. He is fast and he can throw it far. I don't like his trenches. I think they're average. I don't think they're as bad as some of the other teams I've talked about, but I do think they're average. And against some of the bigger schools, that could be an issue. He did win week 1 against Texas State, and I thought that was a good win. UTSA, he was UTSA last year, but he's Texas State this year. That's a good user. And so him getting that win kind of let me know, like, all right, he knows what he's doing. He'll be able to make some noise maybe. And then, but I don't think he's ready to play with the big dogs. So like against some of those bigger schools, I don't see him necessarily winning a lot of those games. But against some of those mid schools to lower schools, I think he could pull them out. Texas, big time. This was a big time coaching get from Texas State to Texas. I honestly think this is a realistic kind of move, how kind of college football works, bringing a guy that's already had some success in state, bringing them to the bigger program. So shout out to him for getting the job offer. That being said, his quarterback situation is interesting. So he had 2 good quarterbacks, Marvin Griggs and Richard Anelli. Marvin Griggs was a little better and a little older, but he had a career-ending injury. Broke his back. I guess it was like in a car crash or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But he broke his vertebrae, out for 61 weeks. If you don't know, in college football, they do not count the offseason for injuries. And so that means he's out for 4 years. He's done. And so Richard Anelli got to start probably a little earlier than he would want him to. Definitely love his pass catchers. His receivers, his tight ends are really good depth at those positions. I think if you're going to start a quarterback early, you want to start him with receivers and tight ends like he has. And then he has excellent linebackers. I told you, I love linebackers. And so I looked at his, man, they can fly. They all have elite speed. And they're gonna make some plays for him in the run game and in the passing game. And so I really like Texas. I got him at 9-3. I think that he will win games against pretty much everybody except for the top guys. I think he is probably still a year away with that roster, but he can recruit. He did it at Texas State. He can do it at Texas. So I think that there's no way that he won't show up and show out this year, and he'll have a chance. I think he'll be just outside looking in on the playoffs this year, but depending on how the committee feels about him, he'll have a chance. It's kind of where I'm at with Texas. Texas Tech, this is who I got winning the Big 12. He is he won the Natty last year, and so he's trying to go back to back. He is not going back to back this cycle. His quarterback, Sean Carnegie, is new, so it's not the guy who threw for 90 touchdowns last year. I don't think he'll be able to do that again, just because Carnegie isn't as good as the quarterback he had last year. That being said, he has 100 receivers on his team. If you go, I honestly think he has 20 wide receivers. Somebody gonna get open. So he gonna play. He gonna figure out some combination that somebody gonna get open. So his offense will be really good. And I think he'll go 10-2. I got him losing a couple games this year during the regular season, just because I don't think his roster is as good as last year's national championship team. And so I can see him dropping a couple games. And he has to play the gauntlet. He plays Georgia. He plays me. He'll play Texas. Like, I think he'll drop a couple games, but I still think he'll win the Big 12 and have a chance to defend his national championship. On to the Pac-12, Arkansas State got him going 6-6, man. He got I said basically he needs one more season recruiting. He has a Sun Belt roster in the Pac-12. It's a good roster, but I don't think it's going to hold up against a lot of the Pac-12 big top teams in the Pac-12, honestly. So I think he's just one season away from recruiting. He can recruit, so I think he'll be fine by next year. But he'll have to use that conference prestige, recruit a little bit better. I do like his quarterback, Spencer Figures. That means I think he's one season away from being dominant. I think he's good this year, but I think next year he'll be great. And I think that's kind of fits his time, Arkansas State's timeline with his roster. I think he'll have a much better roster next year than he does this year, and his quarterback will peak at that time as well. Vanderbilt, man, I love his quarterback room. They might be too young though. Like, you got high upside on really like 2 or 3 quarterbacks, but because of their youth and his lack of excellence at wide receiver room, I don't think they'll be good enough to overcome the lack of talent he has on the outside. That being said, what he lacks in the wide receiver room, he makes up for in the tight end room. His tight end room is amazing. He has blocking tight ends. He has vertical threat, all high overalls, all can make a difference. And tight ends really can win games for you. And so I really think that'll be something he leans on. But I do got him at 6-6. I think he'll be right around average. I honestly think he could shock me. He's one of the people who I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 8-4, which I think is kind of where he wants to end up, just because he wants another job. And so I feel like you got to get to around 8 wins to get a good job offer. So I got him at 6-6. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 8-4. And I'm actually kind of rooting for him to go 8-4 because he hates Vandy. And so I want him to get a good job offer this next year, just so he can make a change if he wants to. You know what I mean? I'd be rooting for people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for him to kind of make a change if he can. Mississippi State, he is back. Shout out to my boy. He's back, man. I love his wide receiver room. He got a good mixture of vets and young players. He's super thin at a lot of positions, though. And it's really not his fault. He was on auto, and the computer, if you don't know this about this game, auto recruiting is just bad. It really is just bad. I don't know why they made it so terrible. Like, computer recruits fine, but when you put anything on, when you do auto recruiting as a user, it's just horrible. Like, it just doesn't put points on people, and you just don't get good players. And I didn't know if it would. I thought it wouldn't I thought putting him on auto would give him like computer recruiting, but I think it just gave him like auto human recruiting. And so I think that's why he's so thin at a lot of positions. Because you look at his roster, it's like one guy in each spot. And so hopefully he doesn't have a lot of injuries because that could really decimate his chances this year. Stanford got him going 10-2. Quincy Odeyingbo, 98 speed, 99 acceleration. Literally, he's a track star with a helmet, man. Track star with a helmet, man. He's gonna be a problem, dog. And he got shifty and all of that. And so he's the type of guy that you think you got, and then he fast twitches a couple times, and you're like, man, we chasing him again, and ain't nobody catching him. And so, and he has 3 pure blocking tight ends. I was looking at him, man. They all like 73 speed with like 90 run block, bro. Like he is gonna run the ball a lot, and honestly, that kind of scheme can really get on people's nerves. People, for some reason, people don't mind you if you pass the ball a lot, but people do not like if you're running the ball a lot. And so I could see uh I could see him really getting on people's nerves this year. And I got him going 10-2. I think he'll be really good. He has to play me, Oregon, Georgia. And so I think he'll lose 2 out of those 3 games. It's kind of where I got 10-2 from. I think everybody else he'll take care of. I really do. I think everybody else he'll take care of. Texas State. This is UTSA coming over. Texas State. Emmett Biades. I think that's how you say his name. Really young. Will be the best player in college football in 3 years. Doesn't help the Bobcats this year. Does not help the Bobcats this year. I think it's just not his quarterback. I think he is young talent in every position: running back, receiver, tight end, offensive line, that will develop well, but not this year. I think this year he's going to have to take his lumps at a new school, try to get to a bowl, win a bowl, and kind of go from there. These are regular season records. That's why it's 12 games. So if he finished 6-6, gets a ball, wins it, goes 7-6, that's a good year. He's used to recruiting Texas, coming from UTSA, and so I think he'll be fine in that regard. And then he'll have something to build on. Texas State did a good job kind of last year recruiting, so he has great young talent. He's got needs a year or two for it to develop. Georgia State is my boy, man. He's my boys, man. I really like my roster this year. Jamie Provo. So if you don't know, last year had this issue where I would be in games or be winning games, and then he would get knocked out the game, and my backup would just come in and throw 3 picks. It was just like clockwork. And so every game last season I lost because he got knocked out the game. Now, some of the games I might have lost anyway, like the game against Georgia, I didn't really have a chance. He kind of got up early, and he was going to win that game. But like Oregon, I was up 3 scores, and he got knocked out, and we couldn't move the ball anymore. Texas Tech was in the game. He goes out. My backup throws a pick, and that's kind of it. So this team is senior heavy. If you go look at my roster, if you just go to roster and scroll, like all my top players are seniors. We got to win some games. We got to make a playoff run. That's just where we are right now. We can't afford to drop games that we're not supposed to lose. And I just had one against Vandy. He was up 24, and I had to come back and win because like that's not a game I could lose. I'm going 10-2. I play everybody. I play Georgia. I play Oregon. I play Tech. I gotta win one of those games. I have to win one of those games, and I cannot lose to anybody else. It's kind of where we are with this roster and with this season. If I want to have a good season, I gotta go at least 1-2. I really want to go 2-1 in those 3 matchups, and then everybody else I just got to take care of is where we are. Georgia, talked about him. His trenches are crazy. This looks like a stock Georgia roster, if I'm being honest. It just looks like a stock Georgia roster. He's the guy I was talking about with all the D tackles. He has 8 or 9 D tackles that are 84 overall and above. What he gonna do with all them? I have no clue. He also might have the best safety duo in the country with Tyquan Whiteside and Trey Jones. His defense is just gonna just abuse people. If I'm being honest, it's gonna be so hard to move the ball against Georgia. And his offense is good too. Like it's not just that he has a great defense. His offense is good too. That being said, he runs the gauntlet as well. He plays Oregon, I think he plays Tech, Texas, and me. And so I got him going 2-2 in those games. Definitely a playoff team. Definitely gonna have a chance to make it back to the Natty. But I think he'll lose a couple during regular season, and then we'll see what he does in the playoffs. Now I got Oregon winning the Pac-12. I think he lost last year in the semifinals to Georgia. I think he will get his revenge this year on Georgia, and but I think he loses one of the games. So he plays me, Georgia, and I think Texas. And so I think he loses one of those games. And that's where I get 11-1 from. Best running back room in the nation, though. If you go look at his running backs, oh my gosh, they are incredible. They all are fast. Um, if he plays any of them, they're gonna try to break the 100-meter dash record. They're gonna be amazing. And then on top of that, he has a 6'5" receiver, 98 speed, who I think got to be related to Megatron in some form or fashion. It's an Oregon roster. It really is. Dope jerseys, fast players. It's an Oregon roster. His quarterback still, I think, needs another year to get better, but he's good enough with those weapons to still to win almost all their games. Definitely could see him hoisting the national championship again after taking a year off from winning. Could see him going back to the stage, man. Playoff predictions. So these are my teams that I got in the playoffs this year: Tech, Georgia, Oregon, Stanford. I got myself, Georgia Tech, and maybe UNC. So Georgia Tech and UNC are my two dark horses. Georgia Tech, because I think he think he'll win the Sun Belt, but it'll depend on how high he can get ranked. And so that's just kind of the rhythm of when you lose, who you lose to, those kind of things. Where do you start as far as your ranking before preseason? All those things kind of matter when we talk about interseason ranking for the mid-major school, for those mid-major conferences, and if you're high enough to make it in. And then Stanford is another one who I think it just depends on who you lose to and when you lose. I can see them making a run, and I'm excited about this year. I think we have 7 teams make the playoffs. It'll be the most that we've had. And so I think that would be fun. I think it'll be fun and be good. I love the conferences, the way they split up. I think that makes for more even competition. And I think top guys will get challenged, and I think some of those middle guys will have a chance to sink or swim. And so I think that's how it should be. That being said, man, I hope you enjoyed the preview. Knocking out your streaming points by the end of this week, and then we rolling, y'all. It's rolling. It's time for another year, and I'm gonna have a good time playing with you guys this year, and we'll see who comes out on top, man. Let's see if we can get a new national championship winner this year, man. All right, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. This year, not doing any bonus for watching the preview. What I am going to do is we're going to do some game of the weeks this year. So if you watch game of the week, you vote. So vote on game of the week. We're going to have it's called Saturday Showdown. I'm going to give some bonuses for that. So that's how we're going to do bonuses this year. Just trying to find a new way to keep guys active and keep guys involved. So yeah, be on the lookout for Saturday Showdowns. We should have them every other week. First week didn't get played, of course, but hopefully week 3 it'll get played and you'll be able to get some points that way. All right, man. See y'all next time, man. Peace.